Chepi any T news be any number man something tankes so say ukosiki asylum ewo United Kingdom wa na yede wo back to Rwanda because Rwanda for agye atum say UK for refugee for no omo embra emetena ekuro so na utie Rwanda ni president a ode message aba abonten a Paul kire woni nkasa yemu say asem bi a esi mere bi atwamu a onya ehumoboro edimani batuntum enti ne manage saade ne tumu a ama nkofo a omonam Mediterranean stream ne sea ne so efefa Libya ne ade kofa hawo mu o he video bi kura na Ghana ni de hye bi akofa hawo bi mu through sika akope ne ho ntam anya ana se ofa kwan so akọ bi so akope sika bi ene ade nti ekofa hawo de bre sa ni pay no eno na Paul si ohu ye to na koma so a o kire se obegye saade ne de atum ene na nipa ne beduru Rwanda ho na so se ompe na obekọ ni kuro mu a na ode ne kọ ni kuro mu back na so obema nipa tuntum akọ hawo ne ateti mu broni bi kuro so de ono ohu ni sa na ne ho tete no video ya wo hwe kire ewe nkasa mu ana so mo de allege say nkofo a yase so mo de omagu plane mu from UK ebesne de atwam de akọ Rwanda akotena ho na omo ka ho asem yedin kan ebedin kan akọhwe kasa UK for president no ana say UK for prime minister no wode beto abonten efa nsem ahodo a nkofo ka se ade ne se yampa ana se ntro no video we nsi no obehu no kure bia ewom aha eECONOBA television betimi do comment nso go video na se
hello ebusiafo so pesifita asracha Odifour de and the nafa ho kodom unique laser whitening our toothpaste stronko a odi twitwi osin a ema osin fita na fita no nso no na enka bone bia ewo no mu bia any tea stain, coffee stain, smoking stains bia unique laser whitening product ebeyi ni nyina free so ama kama de obani say utu so na odi bi egu o brush do so na odi etwitwi osin so nyina kama owia enhuhuru wenum gya no wenum saa into for unique laser whitening was 07999792330 unique laser whitening or say muni seso.
Okay yenkotie asem a UK prime minister okaye efa asylum seekers or more UK do omo Rwanda intin sema no oka.
So from today our new migration and economic development partnership will mean that anyone entering the UK illegally, as well as those who have arrived illegally since January the 1st, may now be relocated to Rwanda. This innovative approach, driven by our shared humanitarian impulse and made possible by Brexit freedoms, will provide safe and legal routes for asylum while disrupting the business model of the gangs. The deal we've done is uncapped, and Rwanda will have the capacity to resettle tens of thousands of people in the years ahead. And let's be clear, Rwanda is one of the safest countries in the world, globally recognized for its record on welcoming and integrating migrants. So from today, our new migration...
Okay, enti Prime Minister ani atene nkan a okasa de fa ho se obidi aduru UK ho a wasetenam anase o next flight Rwanda street afa yenkotie asem ana omoka video we achi minim no kura sa video we mu de bo mo kire se omo makodi aduru UK no na edu omo Rwanda yi according to video we nsem ano omoka no
se otukwan se wo UK Europe akobo bra na enkrata semti ya chiw se do ko Rwanda refugee camp from UK to Rwanda refugee camp nti anuanom mumye sonson ye otukwan ya sremo enye easy dey but mumye man krata sem hunye papa mumye krata sem hunye the can krata permit.
Okay eti utie video we ma no mo kire se omo makodi aduru UK no ene de omo ko Rwanda so omo nkobo mo bra Rwanda according to nipa ya o kasai obetimi wadwen kire gu video na safe enko tie asema Paul ede beto dwa efa sa case ye beto hoyi enkofo kire se oli sika anaso omo sika na ato no ene wo ton ni patuntum ede free Rwanda UK ɛde ɛreba ɛyɛ Rwanda hɔ ne ntie Paul commenter ɔma yɛ ɛfa saa case wei.
And again, a friend, United Kingdom, something to do with migration. I know it has caused another confusion, and I want to explain it to you. And again, I first had to say what I said, and I bring this because it should be seen in that context of who we are and who we want to be. Because I have seen some people say, you know, that United Kingdom gave us money and then they want to dump people here. No, we don't do that kind of thing. we don't buy and sell people. We can't do that again because of our core values. But I'll tell you what happened, and so that everyone is clear in their minds. In 2018, if many of you may recollect, I was the chair of the African Union. And during that time, so many stories, you know, many young, maybe some of them old Africans were perishing, dying in big numbers in the Mediterranean, being taken through Libya and to many parts of Europe. And I remember reading a story about a Ghanaian young man, an engineer, who happened to be following this path, and there are people, they are smugglers, they have networks who take people from Africa, different parts, and smuggle them into Europe. And that time they were using Libya because of its statelessness. There was confusion, there was no state in control. And in fact, hundreds, if not thousands of them were trapped in Libya in different places in the prisons, starving to death, others abused in all sorts of ways. Some people had started coming, picking some of them and taking them to their countries to use them as slaves. Slaves. And we were somewhere discussing with some of the leaders, and I was telling them, why don't we address this problem? I said, for example, for me, I'm not just going to suggest this theoretically that it can work. I want to even provide an example. I said, let's find ways. If we got all these people trapped in Libya who they can't go back to where they came from, they can't move ahead to Europe where they wanted to go. And I told them, I can assure you, with all our weaknesses and whatever we have in our country, these people, if they were brought to Rwanda, they would live a better life than they are living in Libya, in these prisons. And I said, so if we brought them, then other countries interested in helping in this program, we can do the following. One, we can ask these people whether they want to go back to where they came from, now that they found themselves mistaken and in a very terrible situation in Libya. They may end up wanting to go back home. Because I had read that story of the Ghanaian I was telling you, who was, for him he was an educated man, young man, but I think illusioned about. I think he was an engineer. I read it, but for some reason he wasn't employed. And so the networks that were smuggling people to Europe took him. And when he was in Libya, he got stuck. He found he was not going forward. So he had paid some amount of money which he got from his parents, I remember the story we were talking about $800 or $900 we had been paying through to these smugglers. And so he started negotiating with the smugglers to take him back, and he would pay the same amount of, again, the same amount of money, which means 1,600 or 1,800. But this time he didn't have it. It would be paid when he got back to Ghana by, I think, his parents. So the smugglers took him back. But this is because he discovered there was no way of continuing to Europe. But even if he had reached Europe, by the way, I'm not sure, maybe what he had in mind he would become or was going to be the case. Maybe he was just going to be the same person as he was in Ghana, even in Europe, wherever he would be. He wasn't going to get that good living now. But anyway, so agreed, if they arrived here, they could easily be taken back home if they choose to go back home. Second, those European countries that have allowed migrants to come to Europe should come and stably select those they want to take to their countries, and that would be still better than these people being trapped in Libya. Then third, we provided another option. We said, for those who can't go back, or don't want to go back for some reason of their own, and may not be selected by the countries that want to absorb them, we are giving them another option. We can actually find ways in which they can stay here. There were these three options in 2018. So I think that's how now this new situation developed, with the UK and others contacting us. It's like they learned from this case and said, can we have people processed here stably instead of being smuggled into our countries and doing this and that? And this time, they are not just going to be Africans. They may be, a number of them Africans. They are going to be other people from other countries. We allowed people from Afghanistan to come here. Even now, there are still students who were brought here. They are still staying with us. So I'm saying there are things that have really changed about us. And that's why I'm saying we don't have to learn values from anybody ourselves. We have values in us that we go by. So we can absorb Afghanistan, people from Afghanistan, from wherever, and if they are from Africa, we are even happier because they are like, we take them like family. So when the UK approached us, and because of that problem they have, I think they are smuggling people in these countries, left, right, center. So if we could talk about how to deal with that problem, we are happy to deal with that problem. There is, I understand Denmark. So there is nothing bad about this. There is nothing we can't be transparent about this. There is nothing. So this is what it is. So, and this is who we are too. So I wanted to clear this, please. We are not. No. This is why I was saying there are things you can't buy about us. we are who we are, and we are proud people too. We are not involved in buying and selling of people, Rwanda and the UK, or anybody. No, it's just a problem that people will have different views about it. They look at it differently. They're not happy about it. That's okay. People will look at, but at the end of the day, you've got to do something. Friend, United Kingdom.
Okay, we asɛm a owura Paul de ɛbɛto dwa ɛfa nkɔfo a ɔmo ɛkɔ siki asylum ɛwɔ UK a ɛsan de ɔmo ba back to Rwanda. Minim wadwenkyerɛ deɛ sese deɛ okuro no ɛsi ɔmo pɛ so ɔmo yɛ ɛno no sɛ wo ekuro bi so na woba UK hɔ a na woba bɛpɛ baabi atena wobɛduru hɔ a ɔmo de wobɛkɔ back to Rwanda na Afia no wakɔ akɔbɔ obra ɛwɔ Rwanda. Wei asɛm aba bɛto dwa minim wadwenkyerɛ obetumi de wadwenkyerɛ gu video na ase medi de kɔ na baboate.
Hello, abusuafo. So pesi fita asracha Odifour de and then nafa ho kodom unique laser whitening. Unique laser whitening. Our toothpaste stronko a wodi twitwi wosin a ema wosin fita na fita no nso no na enka bone bia ewo no mu bia any tea stain, coffee stain, smoking stains bia unique laser whitening product ebeyi ni nyina free so ama kama de obaya say utu so na odi bi egu o brush do so na odi etwitwi osini so nyina kama ohwia enhohoro wanum gya no wanum saa into for unique laser whitening I was 07999792330 unique laser whitening or say muni seso